So Bungie just put out one of those mega TWABs, and they gave us a nice little preview of weapon crafting in Witch Queen. So early in the Witch Queen campaign, there's going to be a quest that introduces us to the ins and outs of crafting. And the first and second missions of the campaign will unlock the deepsight ability and be introduced to the enclave, which is where weapon crafting will take place. All the necessary materials will be provided for our first crafted weapon, but we'll also get a short tutorial on how to find those materials for future crafting. Only a subset of weapons and archetypes will be craftable from the start, but more will be unlocked in the future. This is the direction I figured they were going to go, in that not all archetypes would be eligible for crafting, and I'm willing to bet it's not going to be the strongest archetypes for each weapon either. They're going to want to give you incentive for using those less popular or weaker archetypes. So before you can craft a weapon, you're going to need to first find a weapon pattern. These will be acquired through quest completions, while others can be earned by completing various gameplay objectives. Once you've earned your desired pattern, it can be crafted at any time with the required materials. So once you find a pattern, it'll essentially be unlocked and you won't need to find it again. So earlier I mentioned you'll unlock something called the deepsight ability. This will give randomly rolled weapons throughout the game a chance to drop with a new ability, deepsight resonance. Those weapons are distinguished with this fancy red border. So exciting. This is how you will unlock weapon traits to apply to the patterns you've unlocked. They gave the example of a deepsight resonance auto rifle with the rampage perk. You'll first complete an objective with the weapon, which from the example they gave just seems to be completing activities and defeating enemies. And once completed, you can extract the essence of the perk to craft a weapon with rampage or another damage increasing type perk. And they're giving you some wiggle room in that they are essentially grouping perks together, so once you find a deepsight weapon with the type you want to craft, you'll be able to create one with any similar perks. So Rampage could theoretically be used to create a weapon with Harmony or Kill Clip or Surrounded and other similar damage type perks. There is another limitation to the weapon crafting, which doesn't really come as a big surprise. Not every weapon pattern will be compatible with every weapon perk, but there will be a good list of traits to mix and match, so we'll just have to see what's available. So weapon crafting doesn't stop here. You'll be able to, in Bungie's words, kick things up a notch and enhance your traits to strengthen their flavor. Basically, this means you can increase your weapon stats by using it. Once the weapon is crafted, complete activities and defeat enemies, and they say this is where the bulk of your crafting time will be spent. The more you use it, the faster you unlock its full potential. Now this is where things get juicy. Enhanced stats and traits can be unlocked when reaching higher levels, granting slight bonuses to your weapons. Now they don't mention the level cap or how many times we can level up the weapons, but according to the screen, at level 7 we see they have a choice and they're going to gain 10 handling, but the text says an additional minor stat boost will be earned at level 20, so 20 could be the cap, but we'll have to wait and see. Now the good thing is if you level a weapon and you don't like the stats or perks that you chose, there's a feature called reshaping, which will let you mix up the components after you've already crafted a weapon, so you're not necessarily locked down to that path. They then go on to mention that people will favor different weapon foundries, which now have their own intrinsic perks called origin traits. I'm not going to get into all of these specific origin traits, but weapon foundries such as Suros, Hake, Weist will have intrinsic perks that I'm assuming will apply to the weapon patterns for crafting. The last weapon crafting related news we got is related to the new exotic weapons, the Osteo Striga Smg, and the 3 class unique exotic glaives, which can all be crafted through the Enclave after you find their patterns. So unlike legendary weapon crafting, you're only going to be able to customize things like barrels or stocks while preserving the exotic's core identity. They mention leaning into longer range profile or making it more up close, so it's really just going to be minor stat boosts for range, handling, things like that. And that's all we currently know about weapon crafting. I'm curious to see which weapon archetypes are going to be eligible and what perks, or traits as they're now calling them, each archetype will have available. Until then, we're not going to really be able to speculate on any cool combos. That's all for now. Catch you on the next one.